So, hello and welcome to the third of 4 sessions of the Sprawl, which is a PbtA cyberpunk mission game. We are part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, and our crew is made up of a fixer, a reporter, a killer, and a driver. We're going to see how they deal with the actual mission following the legwork phase. The clock that we set on that has kind of started to run down. I'm going to talk with them about where they are on site at that point. But I do want to mention that this is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. The Gauntlet Hangouts is an online gaming community. We have a couple hundred sessions on the calendar, give or take. We also have a number of podcasts. We have a pretty deep YouTube channel. We have a pretty sweet Twitter feed. Yeah, you should go check that out. There's all kinds of stuff. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. Our team have been hired by DJ Snow to find her manager, Cyrus Swan. DJ Snow is an anti-corporate rocker from not that way back because she's still pretty young, but she has earned the ire of a number of corporations. And I won't go into the full details about the bits that they have found out, but they have learned that down in a sort of upscale warehousing industrial area south of Mexico City, that there are a couple of locations there that are likely to be where this person has been taken to, where this manager has been taken to, and that actually traveling down there is a somewhat restricted task. You have to go through a wealthier zone with a little more control and protection over it, and not raise alarms as you go to do that. So tell me, I don't think we necessarily need to give a role for this, but let me get the names of our characters again. For Squirrel, when you're transporting through a highfalutin area, trying to keep it cool, trying not to draw attention, what is it that you do? Do you have equipment? Do you have a style? What is it?
Oh man, okay. This is like way out of Squirrel's wheelhouse because he always wants attention and always wants to get noticed. And his car is like really flashy. I think it specifically might have the flashy strength or something like that. Yeah, it's flashy. That's what it says under the looks. So
you're trying to look like an elite?
I think what he probably has is he probably tries to like make it look like he's some rich kid, right? Like some rich kid that bought a race car. Like he drives it as if he belongs here, right? But he's not shying away from attention. He's just trying to convert that attention into something that you wouldn't care about, right? Like, oh, that's a poser. Don't worry about that guy. He spent all his dad's money on that stupid car. Like, he's going to try to do that. So
I like that.
He's wearing like nice clothes.
Do you think then that we do need to have Squirrel roll with style?
Yeah, I mean, it's not in his wheelhouse. This is definitely, he absolutely wants you to know who he is. Like his car's name is Red Sonja. Like it's plastered on the side. Okay, so yeah, I'll roll.
Let's have you roll with style for fast talk.
Oh shoot, I don't have the thing open.
Oh, the roller. Let me grab that.
What page is that on?
Copy. It's actually right next to the characters.
Scroll to the right. Go to the link. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, boxcars.
Boxcars. So what does that look like?
So I think he knows there is like a guy, right? Like there's a specific guy who is known for like buying flashy cars and like cruising through neighborhoods that you're not supposed to be doing that. And everyone just kind of lets it go, right? Because he's got like a really important dad, or like he's like tied into some corp structure. And so everyone just sort of lets it go. So like where Red Sonja should be, he's just taken whatever the name that dude would plaster on his car, and he's like covered it up with that.
Nice. Yeah. And if there are cops down in this area, security, they recognize that and they peel off, and your team can glide on through the area into this corporate sort of higher end warehouse setup area. And the team will circle around. You had gotten a number of different possibilities for where this building might be, for where they were taken. And you knew that once you got on site, you'd be able to do visuals and get that narrowed down. So where we actually take up then is the group having identified that building. And I want to give you the sense of what it looks like, what you can see from the outside, and then we'll go to any moves or discussions of how you want to approach it. The building itself is a 3-story building. It looks like it's an upgraded warehouse, like they've done some renovations, maybe put in a little bit of office space inside of it. You can see that there is a corporate flyer up on top. You know, it's your standard 4-person hopper to go from corporate location to corporate location. That's up on the roof. There's a front entryway. It doesn't look particularly inviting because it looks like this is supposed to be maybe more of a closed building. There's no signage that says exactly what it is. You know, there's a number, but otherwise it's fairly anonymous. You guess there must be some kind of greeting person on the inside. Building itself, 3 stories, fairly large. It looks like there's some, how do I describe this? There's a set of fencing, and we'll say it's around the western side of the building. High, clearly meant to be privacy fence as well. It has anti-photo sheeting on it, which means camera watch, things like that. It helps blur that. The fencing goes around, but when you get eyeballs on it, it looks like there's almost kind of an encampment there. Like there are a set of maybe 7 or 8 young people. It looks like they're kind of moving in and out of the building. They're smoking. They've probably got a little barbecue set up out there. They have the look of people that are kind of on a payroll waiting for something to happen. And that's the basic visuals that you can get on that. Does that seem like a fair set of info to start from? Let's look at our reporter. Let's start with you, Jace. The group has arrived on scene. You've gotten this information. You've narrowed the location down to this site. What do you want to do? What do you want to look into? What do you want to know?
Well, first of all, just to remind everybody, if I have a move called Filthy Assistance. So when I spend intel and give mission advice based on the research, everybody takes 1 + 1 forward to follow that advice. So it gives us all an advantage. I want to know more about how we lock this place down and prevent people from getting away. And my first thought is, how do we take out that hopper? How do we make sure that this jump jet is disabled and useless to try to transport Swan anyplace else?
So that sounds to me like you are assessing the situation.
And I will happily roll for that.
Let's have you do that.
What do I roll with?
Edge.
Edge. Oh, good. And then really quick, +2 is the highest stat we can get on, correct?
At the start, yes. I think you can, with advances, go up to +3, but I'd have to look at the XP stuff.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so I'm just going to re-roll the box cars here.
Okay.
And that is a 10, and edge +2 is 12.
Okay, so you have 3 hold. So from the assess questions, what is it that you would like to ask?
And 2 moments here while I flip over to that. How's that hopper vulnerable? And I'm going to say to us as a team, not just to me.
Well, certainly heavy weapons, obviously, are a choice. It is only 3 floors up, and it looks like they're not, like they don't have enough security or enough people on this, like, to protect it. They're not expecting people to go up there. They're not expecting people to mess around with it. So it's not outside the realm of possibility for someone with some tech knowledge to get up there and either do some damage or disable it or take control of it. That's probably the easiest thing. You need to find a good blind spot and get somebody to climb up in contact with it. Does that seem like a fair answer?
It's a fair answer.
Okay.
Which one of us has the... what stat would we be rolling with to gain control of it, to disable it, to use it, etc.?
I think in general, I would probably use overcome.
Okay.
Or
so move.
As a move, which is actually, the name of act under pressure. Sorry, that's cool. Too many moves that do the same thing at different names.
Gotcha.
Act under pressure would be the one for that, unless you had a move that was from your playbooks that seemed more appropriate to that.
So Squirrel has the best cool, and I have a link with Squirrel. So would that give Squirrel +3 to deal with it?
If you rolled help or interfere and successfully did that, then you could do that, because links don't automatically give the +1.
Okay. Gotta act on it.
Yeah, links are what you roll your number of links to do the help maneuver. The help move.
Folks, are there any other questions that you want me to ask with these holds?
Wow. Really, it's kind of like, what floor would he be on? Oh, sorry. We have specific questions.
Yeah.
Let me just get to assess real quick.
And the questions are, what potential complications do we need to be wary of? What do we notice despite an effort to conceal it? How can we avoid trouble or hide? What is our best way in, out, or past? Where can we gain the most advantage? Who or what is our biggest threat? And who or what is in control here?
Okay, I like the what is my best way, all of those, but in.
What is your best way in?
Yeah.
And then with that question, would that also tell us the best way up to the roof, or is that a separate hold we would need to spend?
I need to know, when you say, what is my best way in, who are you asking that for? Are you asking that for you, Jace? Or you're asking for Molly? Or you're asking for Bob? Or you're asking for Squirrel?
Ooh, I was thinking all of us, but
yeah, I was thinking, it's like, wait, we can't.
See, that's the thing is I think you have different strengths, and I'm willing to answer that question, but I think it's going to depend on who you're looking at to do it.
Okay, Squirrel, are you okay with going up to the roof and getting control of that hopper, even though it means kind of getting away from your car that is your pride and joy and your baby?
Yeah. Man, I've never driven one of those before, but dude, looks fun. I could drive anything though.
Okay. So Bob, what do you think? Should we try to find out what Squirrel's best way up to the roof is?
Yes.
I got the drone.
All right. Let's do that.
Can carry me though. I mean, it's not that big. Never tried to carry me.
We'll know pretty quick if it can.
I think the climbing up is going to be a bit of a challenge, but taking a look at the drone and the craft that's up there, Squirrel, you will think it may be possible for you to actually, even beyond just taking control of this vehicle or disabling it, they've got to have a roof access. So, in fact, the best way to get the group in, utilizing your skills, maybe to get up to the roof, get the aircraft disabled, and get whatever roof access is up there opened, and have the team go in that way.
They'd never see that coming.
Does that seem like a fair answer? That would leave you with another hold for one last question.
I think that's more than fair, because you answered both how Squirrel can do it and how that could benefit the group.
So let's come to Bob. Bob, what are you doing in this sitch? Are you surveying the situation? Are you reaching out to a contact? Are you assessing? What do you want? You're muted. Take a drink.
I am reaching out to a contact, somebody that would work in this corporation. So maybe somebody from the neighborhood that commutes. I'm trying to think of a penetration point. And I know tons of people, so I'm sure, with my 3 degrees of separation, I probably know somebody who knows somebody.
So you're reaching out to try and get a hold of one of these MG people, like one of them. Okay.
That works at this building that might give me some access or some intel.
Well, I'm going to say I'll let you get a hold of an MG person, not necessarily at this building.
Fair enough.
But you can certainly utilize them to get some more info. Male or female?
I'm open.
Okay. We'll give her a name, Ava Cazalo.
Ava. Oh, I remember her. We go way back. Oh, those drinks in that airport. It was great.
And you call up out of the blue, and there's that bit where you hear her kind of switch channels to something more private, and she's like, "What do you want, Higgins?"
Oh, we just haven't talked in so long, and so I figured I'm going alphabetically through my call list, and we should just connect and chat a little bit. How's life at MG? Didn't you just get promoted?
Yes, I got a promotion. MG is okay. They're looking at whether it's viable as an ongoing microcorp, or whether the tripart operation isn't going to hold out. But I'll land on my feet either way. Bob, what is it you want?
Well, I know that you have this beautiful building, and I would love to just know a little bit more about it. And I tell her in the area, the Corsico area, was it? Or Consera?
Yeah. Consera.
Yeah, over in Consera. I was really interested in it. I know people who could help enhance it.
Let's have you roll with style to kind of hit the streets here.
Style is what I'm all about. All right, let me try this. I have a 2 on my style. Go ahead and get some dice. I am going to do, I think, the same thing. I'm going to try and roll those red ones.
Sure.
So reroll selected. Yay. So that's me. 7 plus 2. So we're looking at a 9 for style.
Okay.
Are those new nails? Oh my gosh. And you got the hollow enhanced makeup. I know you can get me in.
She says, that building you really shouldn't be messing around with. I don't know why you're there, but don't, how do I put this? I heard that there's somebody running some kind of job there. And I heard that it's, again, I don't want this going beyond you and I.
Never.
How do I put this? One of the 3 corp people is running a job there. I think it might be Dantaku. My impression is that it's in my interest not to ask too many questions about that, or to talk to the other 2, to talk to RPM or Oyamado about that. Like Dantaku's doing something on their own.
Ooh. Yeah, but about how long? Just out of curiosity.
This is a new thing. It came down. I saw some paperwork, and I averted my eyes. You know how it is. That's how you survive.
Exactly. You know, and I remember you had some family over in the neighborhood. I'm gonna make sure that they get, flowers and a nice little gift bag really soon here. It should be there by this evening. I always like to look out for you.
Yeah. Just make sure none of this blows back on me. That's all I'm asking.
We never talked. How did I get this wrong number?
Fair enough.
Ava, thank you so much.
And that's the info that she'll hand off to you.
Nice. So I definitely am transparent on this one with everybody.
Sure.
So just kind of, I don't let you know who I talk to, but from some sources, it sounds like Dentaku is definitely using this building at the moment. It almost sounds like it's not a main HQ for any of them, maybe just like an ancillary building. Is that a fair statement? If they can share it like that?
Yeah, like it's an ops building, but right now Dantaku is, has clearly appropriated it quietly to use it for something.
So does this mean that Dantaku has kind of gone rogue? And can we leverage the other 2 corps in MG to kind of hammer him on that point?
Could be. Molly, let me ask you what you're doing. You're kind of an on the ground person. Talking to people isn't like your big strong point, but let me get a sense of what you're doing on site.
Yeah. So Molly's either going to. So it depends. There's a couple of different tracks here.
Sure.
Molly can either go in and take her normal, servant kind of perspective and try and walk in that way. Or she can be a distraction for everyone else while they try and hit the top. So the question is are we going to go in front door, guns blazing, or are we going to try and sneak in? What do you guys think?
Sneak is my preference. I'm not great with guns.
Nice. So I think that Molly's going to go in and she's going to be dressed up kind of like a geisha. So this is very similar to like the one of the first scenes in the Ghost in the Shell where they have the geisha outfit and the big robes and everything. They're a little bit bulky and she walks really slow, very small steps and walks up to go in with her like a briefcase that has if it's inspected has like tea and teacups and a little pot and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so that's the plan you're setting up on that?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's put a pin in that and let's see how are you guys proceeding? Are we moving to Squirrel getting up on the roof, seeing how well that works and taking the rest of the team up? Okay. A Squirrel.
Quick question. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Do we know where we're going when we get there, or we have to infiltrate the computer to figure out where this guy is? Guys.
Don't know where he's in the building yet. No.
Okay. Do we have anybody that's kind of techie that might be able to do that? Get in security?
I'm pretty sure the only kind of tech I work with has wheels or rotors.
Fair enough.
But I could try.
I mean, I can always take a stab at it. I am sitting on a level up. So worst comes to worst.
True. Just curious. We're flying by the seat of our pants. I love it.
Squirrel, let's have you roll with cool.
Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna roll these red dice again. These pixels are hot tonight.
Okay.
Okay, I hit submit, not reroll.
Okay.
That's why I didn't do anything. Reroll selected. There they go. Oh my god. So you said with cool?
With cool.
Nice.
All right, so that's a 13.
So tell me what that looks like. What do we see on screen? Squirrel sneaking up to the roof, getting access there.
So he's got the Mission Impossible suction cup things, right? But then he's got his drone like off a distance away. And I think he's given himself like a tie to it just in case, like to like slow his fall if he did fall off of this thing.
Fair.
So he's got like a cable tied around him, and the drone is off a little ways, and he's doing the thing, and going up the building, and there's probably like a big gust or something like that brings the drone away a bit, and like pulls him, and he's and then he like has to like his eyes sort of like go wide for a second as he like remotes into the drone and forces it back to where it needs to be, and then he continues going up and makes it
perfect. Yeah, you will get up to the top of this, and I think with that roll, there's nobody up here. Like they have clearly kind of repurposed this building, and they haven't set up any kind of fancy security. I mean, the vehicle's locked, but that's no problem for you. And if you look around, you can see that there is a roof entrance. It's clearly relatively unused, and you think probably unalarmed. You should be able to get the rest of the team up here pretty easily, and climb on. Bring them on up. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I call down. I'm like, "Hey, everybody, the lights are on, but nobody's home up here. I'm gonna get into this helicraft. I'm gonna check this thing out."
Okay. So it's my understanding that Jace and Bob are going on up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And then really quickly, we haven't really, and we've started the mission, but we haven't gotten into anything serious. So can I still roll nose for a story?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Select the red dice and see what we come up with this time. That is a 6, and plus edge is 2, so that gives me an 8. Gain 1 hold during the mission. Spend 1 hold to invoke one of the following effects. So, ask a question from the research list. Find a piece of evidence that links this mission to a current story. Ooh, that means I could link Dotaka to the whole water mess. Okay.
Good.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. So I think given the success, Bob, Jace, you can get up onto the top of this building, up to this entryway quietly. So, Molly, how are you doing this?
So I'm dressed up as a servant, a demure little girl, and I'm going to walk up to the front door as if I've been called to tea, called to service during a business meeting or something like that.
All right. You will buzz at the door,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get It clearly takes a minute, for somebody to come and go. Help you?
Yes. I'm here for the meeting, and I'm here for T.
Who are you supposed to meet?
I'm going to declare a contact.
Okay.
This contact is this is the company that sends out for services like this.
Uh-huh.
Pretty common. I think it's well known. And this is a contact within the company that services business. T. It's kind of a servant, kind of to put people at ease. Let me come up with a name. Sounds good. Lulu. Lulu's a good name.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is someone who's given me an ID to this company. And I say, they didn't tell me who. And I flashed a badge saying, it's just, they gave me this address.
So is that gear?
Would it
Having
be
a badge? Yeah,
Okay.
I would take that as a gear there.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I think that can give you the fictional thing for them to not, given the status of the building, what's going on there, for them to not react in a negative way. Let's have you roll fast talk.
Awesome. I rolled a 10 on the dice.
Okay. I think you will hear them go, oh, you're here probably to entertain the team. Go around the side, and I'll have somebody meet you out by the long pauses by the compound.
And I titter a little bit and kind of start to shuffle back off.
Okay. And you're pretty sure that somebody's coming, and clearly whatever this fenced in area is what they're talking about with the people out there. And they've clearly indicated that somebody's coming over that way to meet you. Let's cut back up to the roof with Bob, Squirrel, and Jace. Are you going in? Anything I should know about the entrance that you're making there?
I figure we just.
Or actually, are we starting with Squirrel playing with the helicopter?
Up to you guys.
Oh gosh. Oh, would we infiltrate before or after the helicopter, I guess is the question.
I think we get the helicopter sorted first. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea of if you'll excuse the pun, flying squirrel.
Oh.
Can we use it as an escape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's our exit strategy.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm going to try to take it over so that someone else can't come up here and use it, but then I can if I want to.
I'm down with that.
Let's see how hard it is for you to get this opened and operating. Let's have you roll with synth, since that's sort of our tech stat here.
How much intel do we have? Is it 5, I think?
I have 5. You have 0 gear now and 5 intel. Intel can be spent. Actually, I've forgotten whether intel is spent before or after.
Find that out before.
Yes.
Cyberware. I don't see anything about.
You spend intel before you roll.
Oh, okay. What does Intel do for you? Is it just +1 or?
Intel, you tell us what it is you've picked up ahead of time, and it gives you a +1 to the roll.
And then, what's your synth at?
It's
Is that
+1.
+1? Would it be okay with everybody if I happened to or if I did some quick research and got a manual on this hopper through surreptitious sources, spent an intel on that so we can give them a +1?
I'm fine
I'd
with
be
that.
down.
Okay.
Does that work with you, Lowell?
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. So intel goes to a 4. Let's have you roll with a +2 then, Squirrel.
All right. Well, here we go. I'm going to re-roll these red dice. 6, 7, 8, +1, +2, so 10.
10. So yeah, you've got the manual. You pop the chip into your interface, run the schematics, go over, easily get this open. This kind of vehicle has a known faulty crack point, and you will get your multi-tool in there, and you've got it so you can rev it on a moment's notice.
Great.
While Squirrel's getting that set, Bob, Jace, what are you two doing?
Well, I do have a gun. I'm just not great with it. So I make sure to have it at the ready
Okay.
and just cover in the entrance, that kind of thing.
All right. Jace?
I'm getting all my gear ready because this isn't a Otaku building.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what we're going to find in here? But I bet there's going to be something I can turn into a story.
Okay.
Ooh, is there, sorry, I don't know if this would be gear, but are there uniforms around that I could dress up?
You have to get down in there and see if you could find them. You have to probably take out some people first, but
Oh, okay. I was hoping in the hopper or the flyer, but
that doesn't seem like it would fit necessarily.
But
cool.
So one question I do have though is there anything inside the hopper that could prove useful? Credentials, a card, like some kind of key card, entry pass, because you know how people leave keys on, I mean, not hardly anymore if they're smart, but it's like, the driver's side, like sun visor, just flip that thing down, keys fall out. I wonder if there's anything inside the hopper that we could use.
So that seems like assess.
Well, and I do have an assess hold remaining.
Okay. But that was on a different sitch here, actually.
Oh, so I would need, because the assess roll is only about the building and how we get in it.
Yeah.
All right. I can re-roll that. Yeah, that's a 3. I don't think I'm getting any useful information from that.
All right.
At what clock does that advance?
You will see when we look at the clocks here, you'll see that there is the action phase clock, which I am now about to tick up a degree. Okay, it already ticked up 1 for the fast talk on your contact for the 9 there. This represents the guards, people on site, picking up, getting nervous, getting alerted to things, hearing things.
But I gain an XP for that?
You do gain an XP for that.
All right.
So I think that you go into the chopper. You are looking around for anything that might be in it. And I think that you will realize as you're kind of checking the buttons that there was a flight manifest of where this was going, but you've managed to wipe that by accident. So you've lost where this thing was essentially programmed to head to from here. So let's cut back down to Molly. Molly, you get down there. There is a sort of door on the fence area, and you head down there. And after a bit, this person will open up the fence and have you come in and sort of gesture for you to follow. They shut the fence behind them. you will see this courtyard is kind of messy. These people, they're maybe 18 to 25, young. They seem pretty rowdy. And you can see also that now that you've kind of in it, they've also got almost what looks like a motor pool here. Like they've got some bicycles and mopeds and things like that are there, that are actually kind of set up like people who have crappy bikes and things like these don't put their bikes into racks like this is. There's something very odd about that. And this Dantaku, you guess like a secretary or office worker or somebody, will bring you over to this group, and they're clearly weirded out. And one of them says to the secretary, "Is this more training?" And the secretary says, "No, this is a treat for you before the operation." And kind of turns to you uncomfortably and says, "I'll leave you to it then."
And, I kind of say, okay, so basically, if I understand correctly, there's like 20 to 25 like street hoodlums down here.
No. There are about 6 or 7 of them, but they're 20 to 25 years of age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
6 or 7 of these guys, but they're kind of like street hoodlums, and they've got like janky kind of bikes that they don't put up or any. They wouldn't.
No, they have put them up. It's weird. They're clearly more made to look like street hoodlums and that kind of thing.
Okay, so these look like covers. They are not what they appear to be.
That's correct.
Okay. And let's see. I think I'm going to basically tell the secretary that came out,
who's clearly wants to leave, doesn't want to get involved with whatever is going on here.
Oh, tea is not taken outside. We need to do this inside in the break area.
And she goes, they can take you into the hall.
Good. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And kind of,
And she'll head out, and you kind of explain that, and they still don't understand what's going on, but they're used to taking orders. So they take you into, from this outside into this kind of filthy break room area that they've clearly been here for a while. Looks like there's a couple more rooms off from here. You can see that they've got some whiteboarded stuff, markered, like they've clearly been going through some training here for the last several days.
And this is inside the building?
This is inside the building, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to break out my, little tea set and, little stove to heat everything up. And while the tea is heating up, I set out little dainty cups for everyone. And I'd like to assess this.
Sure.
Area.
Let's have you roll edge.
My edge is 0, and I rolled a 4.
What is it that blows your cover?
I think that what blows my cover is I've been listening to the people on the roof while all of this is going on. And I think one of them notices the transmission. Either it's a small voice or they actually can see the radio transmissions as, this is going on.
And there is this moment when you see one, there's about 7 of them, and you've been trying to assess them. And it's that point where you see that one of them is clearly less dumb than the rest, clearly an operative. And there's a pause there, and he turns and he shoots you in the face. Do you have armor?
Yeah.
What
I think so.
Yeah. What armor do you have?
I think I have a 1. Oh, I have a 2. I have body armor.
Okay.
I don't know that face would do much with
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, the face is just color. Like he knows something is up, and he turns and he unloads with a heavy handgun into you. You're going to take 1 harm.
Okay.
Past the armor. And I need you to roll the harm move.
Harm. Oh, I just roll +1, right?
Yep.
And I rolled a 6, +1 is a 7.
Okay. You get the implanted memory.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
The advancement that I took is military specs.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, that's for the mix it up move. Never mind.
Okay. So I think that as much as anything, when this person takes this shot, it hits you, you're kind of not prepared for it, and it spins you around and it drops you on your back.
Okay.
And essentially you lose your footing, and this guy goes, I think this is Oyamada or RPM. We can't let her leave. We'll come back to that in just
Perfect.
1 second. So you've got the feel of this place, Squirrel. You've got the feel of this helicopter. It is your baby. And you're kind of getting out of it as Squirrel's harm would be healed. Yes. As Bob, Jace, you are over the entryway down into the building when you will hear that shot come over your comms. And you can hear the squelch, and you know that Molly has been shot. What do you do, Bob?
All right, we got to help our partner here. So, are they outside? Do I hear the echo of over my comms and in the real world because we're on the roof?
No, because she had them take her inside.
That's true. Okay. So, gosh, did we know she was going in the front?
I would assume so, or the side door. So your choices are, I think at that point, you could either go in through this roof access and try and find your way, or you could try to drop down the 3 floors to where that side entrance is and get the jump there.
She's a big girl. Can't get to her really quick. So it's going to advance me going into this rooftop entrance. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm not going over the side.
I mean,
I'm not that comfortable with heights.
The quicker we retrieve Swan, the faster we're all out of there. And us actually getting to him might draw their attention away from her.
Oh, there you go.
Because, I mean, he's the objective. And they obviously want him for something. We don't know what yet. But we get him, that's going to draw their attention real quick if we're coming in from the roof and they don't know it. Because they've got to get up 3 flights of stairs.
Bob, so you go in this door.
Cagney and Lacey style.
Tell me what you're doing. How is it that you would try and locate where this person is being held? Are you grabbing someone to ask them a question? Are you looking at pads or maps and using research to try and find things out? What are you doing?
No, I'm actually going to look for a security room. So that'd be a person, probably, if I run into a person, say, hey, where's security room? Did you hear that shot? We got to get a, fast talk.
Oh, I like that. So there are, it's not that many people in here. Like when you pop up onto that 3rd floor and you come down, probably just hearing the echoes of that shot. And there's one person up here, and immediately you're on them. Hey, where's security?
Yeah,
let's have you
HQ, whatever that room is.
Have you roll style?
Ah, sweet. Just straight style.
Yeah.
No. All right. Let's go for. I'm gonna use those 2 red ones. Reroll. Oh, okay, much better. 7, 8, 9, 9. I can't get in that area. So does that advance our clock because I did not get a 10 or better? Is that what's happening?
That would advance your clock now. Squirrel or Jace could assist.
I would like to assist. And it's too late to spend an intel, correct? It has to be spent.
That is
before the
correct.
roll. Okay.
But you can do the help or interfere.
All right. I'm going to roll to help.
Okay.
Since I'm right there.
Yeah, you got 1 link with Bob.
Oh, perfect.
So go ahead and roll.
That is a 7.
So that is enough. And since it pushes over the 10, there's no splashback on either of you. This guy says, I don't know if they have the mercs they've got downstairs are probably security, or else it's that oh no, he goes, no, it's a team of the 4 guys down on the 2nd floor with the doctor.
Oh, all right. Yep. We'll head on. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
Make sure to report this.
Yeah. Let me go get to my panic room. And he's like looking around through the panic room.
Nice. And yeah, so 2nd floor.
Okay.
Let everybody know. Say, Molly, don't worry. We're going to try and distract them.
Are there any?
Worry a lot.
Are there any terminals around?
There probably are. Yeah. At least very, very modest stuff, but there's probably something.
I want to see what information we can extract about the facility, like anything about the facility, what's going on here, floor plans, schedules, literally anything to figure out like what's going on here,
Sure.
where Swan may be.
Let's have you roll research.
I want to assist.
Well, and then the other question I had is, can I drop an intel on this? Because this is a Dontaku operation, and I've been messing with them for a long time. So I have an idea of how their computer security works.
I like that.
How to bypass it.
Yeah. Let's we'll take the intel off. That'll give you another +1. You've got a 1 mind, so go ahead and roll with a +2. And then if you need to, we can have Bob assist.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay. Well, then I don't think Bob needs to assist.
I mean, you could, but.
So look at the research questions.
All righty. 3 holds here. Let's see. Bob Squirrel, if you guys want to look at these as well, please do.
And I apologize. You just did an assess. Was that it?
Yeah.
Research.
Okay. Or research. I think one obvious one is, where do we find Swan?
So it is pretty clear to you.
Oh, we got him on the 2nd floor.
Yeah. But I think you can actually narrow it down even to like the area, because there is a room that's been outfitted for specialty use. And rather than having to bramble all the way through the 2nd floor, you've got a specific location on the floor.
Okay, so we also get an intel out of this, correct?
You also get an intel.
So our intel is still at 4. Nice. I mean, I for my own semi-selfish purposes, I'd like to know, if this is okay with you guys, what the relationship is between Dontaku and Swan. Why did they want him? Because that'll be useful, I think, to our client. Also, it lets me mess with Dontaku, and it could lead to a story. Is that okay?
I'm fine with it.
It looks like they've got a essentially interrogator mental engineer here on site, like somebody highly paid, and you suspect that what Dontaku is doing is probably going to be pulling out codes and information on DJ Snow's procedures for letting people in, the passphrases, all of that kind of thing, and probably going to kind of try and wipe that he's given up anything and drop him back in. They are clearly. They might be even putting a like sleeper cell,
like Manchurian candidate stuff.
Yeah, but mostly that they're stripping him of information so they can set up a secondary operation.
Okay. So this one isn't on the list, but I'm wondering if you'd be willing to answer how we could leverage this information to get the other partners in MG to really go after Dentaku. I mean, if that's okay with you guys.
I think that's an post mission question,
okay.
But yeah, I'll allow it. But it'll be a post mission thing.
Okay.
Does that seem fair?
That's fair.
Okay. Squirrel, what are you doing? Gunshots have gone off. They're checking consoles. You know that there's a security thing on the second floor. How are you assisting?
Yeah, so I think when they were all running in this roof access, I like at one point the drone like zipped through in between and has been like hanging back and just following them along.
Okay.
And you tell me how rigging works in this game and
Sure.
world that we're building, but is it makes sense that I could just be chilling in the helicopter remoted into the drone, like following them?
110%.
Cool. So I'm following them. But when I hear that Molly got shot and we're like, we need to get to there. I think that's the most important thing right now. Because we got to get our people out more than we got to get the target. So do you recall what floor Molly was on? Do we know?
First floor.
Molly's on the first floor. So I'll shout to Bob and what's the Jace, right? Jace. So over the comms, look, we got to get Molly out of there, man. She's outnumbered. She's alone. She's wearing that dumb costume, and we got to get in there, man. And so, like, just get the door, and like, so the drone is like at the like the stairs.
Well, it's just the drone, but I let you know we're gonna try and distract the corporate, or try and distract security from Molly.
Okay, stay safe, but like we got to get down there because she's under fire, you know.
So you want to drop the drone into down like the stairwell into where Molly is dealing with this big group, and use it to kind of mix it up with this group, maybe to draw some off. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
it's got a weapon on it.
Yeah, let's have you roll with synth.
Okay. Let's see. So,
yeah, you have. Oh, that's right. It has an auto shotgun on it.
Yes, which I purchased. Let's see. So I also, when you're driving a cyberlinked vehicle in a high pressure situation, I get to roll plus edge to see if I get some hold. Does that come into play here? Hot shit driver?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me roll that and see because that might save my ass if I get shot or something.
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to roll these red dice. Oh, God. So no hold there.
What did you get?
I got 2 ones.
All right.
A couple of ones.
So yeah, the hot shit driver doesn't do that. But we can see that the clock is ticking up here slowly before they call in backup. So tell me there. Let's have you roll that synth.
All right. Good times. All right, red dice. You can't do that 2 times in a row, right? Okay. So synth for me is +1. So that is 5.
So
I'm just getting all the XP.
You drop this drone down into the middle of this. And I think that Molly, suddenly you have a flying, buzzing thing in your peripheral vision that is going to make your situation more difficult, especially when it's clearly like the calibration is off and it starts firing the auto shotgun off nowhere near where these people are. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom.
Sounds good.
Molly, I got you.
Molly, the situation was not great, but you could handle it, and now it's gotten a little worse.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack out Loki, my monofilament whip. This is
Okay.
in my ring finger, and I'm just going to kind of crack it. I'm down on my back, right? I'm
Right.
just going to reach over, grab my finger, and whip this thing out and spin it around the room.
Okay. So that is you mixing it up, right?
That's right.
Okay. You will be at a -1 because you've got this drone.
Okay, and I think my meat is a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the advance that I took is military specs, so I count as a gang.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think that affects the roll, right?
That affects is if we were playing where a great effect.
Okay. So I rolled a 6 plus 1 is a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So under mix it up, when you use violence against armed forces, seize control of an objective, which is essentially the objective is to get them away from you, right? Is to get them clear, get them neutralized.
Yeah.
You need to choose 2 from the 7 to 9 list. You're going to achieve your objective, but what else?
So let's say if I make too much noise, that advances the mission clock, so that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So let's say I take harm and an ally takes harm.
Okay.
Actually, let's change that so it's a little bit easier in the fiction. I'll take harm and something of value breaks, since there's not an ally here.
Right.
I mean, you can attack my drone.
I mean, does the drone count as an ally? I was thinking
the
maybe
drone counts as something of value.
Oh,
okay.
That's why I changed it. Yeah.
Right.
I wondered if there'd be some kind of neural feedback on Squirrel or something like that.
So your monofilament does 4 harm.
Right.
You have armor 2, so
Right.
you're going to take 2 harm. Now, mind you, what does that look like? Imagine again, you're a small gang. So this isn't a question of you dealing to one-on-one people. You spin around with this, and your 4 harm is going to affect all 7 of these people around. What does that look like?
So basically, it starts out, I think that, this little demure servant gets knocked down from the blast of the force, and they don't really know if she's dead or not. They expect, of course, the little girl's going to die, right? And all of a sudden there's a blur, and it's almost like you see in the Matrix movie where there's a bunch of different, there's a blur, and you see her in a few different places as this monofilament whip, reaches out and swipes around the room. Yeah.
And it takes a second for the blood to start spraying, but it will. You take 2 harm through your armor. So I need you to roll your harm move with a +2.
So it is +2. It is not cumulative?
It is not cumulative.
Okay. I rolled a 7. +2 is 9.
Okay. I think that when you get hit by that the monofilament on yourself, there is a safety mechanism on this thing. And that monofilament is going to retract and lock until you can get a chance to reset it. Okay. So for the moment, you're not going to be able to use it in the rest of this conflict.
That sounds perfect.
But yeah, you got blood. You're at that 3 segments. Once you get past this segment, the harm starts being much less easier to kill off, to eliminate. Let us cut back up top. Let's start with Bob. Bob, you know where the security room is. You know that Squirrel has it covered because he sent his drone down. The Squirrel maybe looks a little upset because the drone just got it's one of its rotors sliced off. So what are you doing, Bob?
Well, I'm hoping Jace might have shared that he knows exactly where Swan is. If not, heading to the second floor.
Yeah, assuming that he's told you exactly where.
Sweet.
That's critical.
Yeah.
And
how do you want to play this, Bob?
I blend in. My whole thing is camouflage in the crowd. So, I'm not very tall. I just kind of go in there, keep the gun not out, but ready. So I would assume that I have an underarm kind of holster. That's just what I'm thinking. So, I have it in the holster. I'm dressed okay. I'm not dressed in like a ninja suit, just some street clothes coming in. So if I run into somebody, I'll just try and, I'm supposed to be here attitude.
All this noise, there's all this chaos, and you're gonna kind of try to talk your way in. That makes sense to me. Go ahead and roll style.
All right. So is there a person? Because I have this cool move called FaceTime.
Yeah, you're going to be working with security people here. What does your FaceTime do?
Sweet. So FaceTime is when you engage someone in face-to-face conversation without intervening technology, take +1 forward to fast talk them.
Then you get that.
Awesome. So, oh, hey, buddy. God, did you see the...
Have you rolled yet?
No, sorry.
Because I think one of the things that we were able to get out of the system when we broke into it is the name of the people on the second floor who were in that security room. So you actually should be able to address this person by name and take +1 forward from the intel.
Ooh, and can I make him a contact? Because this is just getting right up my alley.
You already did your contact for the session.
Oh, that was Ava?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have
you're rolling with a +4 right now.
All right.
There's almost no way you can fail.
No chance you could fail.
I'm the new colored dice on there. So, oh, I love you guys. All right, style though?
Yeah.
So, 5 + 2, that's 7 + 4, 11. So we're good.
Okay. So you hop down there and you get there just as you will see a guy. He's wearing like a tack vest, body armor. He's got a heavy weapon at his side. He's got a vibro knife, that kind of thing. He's serious security. And you step up and he turns to you and you're immediately like, what's going on? What's happening here? We've got this situation up there. And he's listening to it and he says, are there more of your team on site?
Oh yeah, they're definitely, I sent them to, and I used some tactical jargon to say that I dispersed them to the perimeter.
He says, I don't think you can make it to a panic room. You can come with us. And he gestures, and you can see that there are 4 of these security guys.
Oh.
And there's a 5th guy who doesn't look like he's security, looks like he's some kind of tech. And he is putting a guy onto a robo stretcher. And you can see it's definitely Swan. And this guy is kind of, strapping the guy into a robo stretcher gurney that they can easily push and get out of here.
Okay. Piece of gear and just asking about the fiction. Do we even have gear? Am I talking out of turn?
Gear is sort of specialty stuff. So, but I mean, any kind of basic thing you might have.
Okay. So this is what I was thinking is there a way to maybe connect, or if I had a piece of gear that was like a rigger antenna that I could put onto a gurney that might be automated so that Squirrel might be able to rig it, but the fiction isn't, it's whatever. So I didn't know if gear would work as like bring something out of nothing.
Yeah, I think you would need the gear for that. Though I would let Squirrel, if you can get Squirrel over to it, Squirrel might be able to put the remote on it. Does that seem fair?
Gotcha. And we don't have any gear left. So,
right.
And that's not something that I bought. So that doesn't seem doable. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just trying to think within the game. So I want to help with the gurney is my thought.
Okay.
So I can't put some kind of thing on it. I'll say, oh, here, I can lift, make myself useful. You keep more guns because I'm short, right? But
Okay.
maybe look like I could help lift this guy.
Absolutely. Jace, where are you while Bob is roping these guys in?
I think I'm still trying to do logistics, pull information out of systems, find out what else we can get, because I know from last time I am not much good in a fight if it comes to that. I am only good for soaking up bullets, and those hurt. But what I can do is try to get, and I think to the extent that it's possible, I've probably already done this to get as much information about the building, its purpose, who owns it, get information out of the systems, etc.
Yeah. Let's have you roll a mind roll, and we'll do this as like a story clock. You've already gotten some ticks on it. Let's have you roll to pull more stuff in. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Okay. Let's call it a good story clock.
Mind roll, huh?
Yep.
Crossing my fingers. That is a 7.
Okay. So I'm going to say between the previous roll that you had and this one, you've got 3 segments on the clock.
Okay. And then where's the noise clock?
The noise clock is actually the action phase clock for this one. That is effectively what it is.
Okay. And I need 6 story segments?
Yeah. Well, the further along you are, the better off you're going to be.
Right.
But if you can complete it, then you're going to have hot stuff.
Gotcha. All right. I'm going to try to quietly as well say into the comms to see if there's anything that Bob thinks I can do to help, or if I would just kind of tip the security team off that we're not quite who we say we are.
Yeah, we'll do that in your next action. Right now,
Sure.
you're pulling that info out.
Gotcha.
Squirrel. I mean, Red Hawk was your friend, and now he's crashed on the bottom floor of this building. What do you do?
Yeah, there's like this ding, like he slams the steering column of the jet, and like you can see that he's debating like whether he should get out and run in there, but he knows he has like nothing useful to do there. Bob, Red Hawk is down. Molly was fine. I did not need to go in there. I think I'm still not 100% sure if it was the link glitched or if she teleported, but she's fine. Where are you and what can I do?
And I can definitely respond so that they don't know. So it'd be like,
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll just help with this guy and take him out. Making sure the comms are on.
Yeah, you'll pick that up, Squirrel, that Bob is moving some target with the aid of on-site security.
Are you heading up or down?
Oh, so as soon as I can, MC, I want to talk them into going up to the hopper. Or the flyer. I keep calling it the hopper. I don't know why, but the flyer.
I think I use that term. And once I get things wrong, I will repeat it wrong the whole time. I think if you get Squirrel on site to assist, I think you can make that fast talk roll, and maybe Squirrel can help you, put the final piece in there to convince them to go up top. Oh wait, no, Squirrel's in the helicopter.
Yeah.
It's his drone that isn't flying that someone's gonna have to pick up for him.
But I mean, I'm not that far away if you need somebody to run down.
Well,
it was just Squirrel's action. Sorry.
Yeah. So Squirrel, you're staying on site. Are you telling anybody to go and pick up your Red Hawk, or is this a casualty of war?
Yeah, I'll message Molly and just say, if you can do anything, save Red Hawk. I don't know. I built that thing from scratch, man. I gotta go help Bob though. He's got the target. Just get Red Hawk and get up there. They're on floor 2, and then I'll So do you need me to come to you so that I can hotwire this thing, or do you need me to just stay up here and be ready when you guys hit the roof?
I think stay up there and be ready, preferably with some bullets to shoot the biggest ones.
Is this thing armed?
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that the weapons are ready.
Molly, what are you doing?
So I think while all this goes down, Molly stops, sheds the little outfit, picks up picks up Red Hawk or the pieces of Red Hawk.
Okay.
And I think Red Hawk probably has a camera on it to a certain extent, and Molly points that at the plans that these guys had on the little whiteboard area, so we'll have a record of that, and
Okay.
then starts hoofing it upstairs.
Okay. Molly takes up stairs, drone under arm. Jace is ripping Dantaku information out of the system. Squirrel is getting the vehicle ready. Bob right now is trying to convince the security team to have him, escort him up to the top with this operative. We've got that security team, and there's one guy who's clearly the mind ripper guy who's there, who might be a little more dangerous. We're going to take our 5-minute break here, and when we come back, we're going to see how Bob does with his fast talk.
Dun dun.
Perfect.
All right, can you hear me?
Did you switch over to Firefox? Is that what you did, or?
Yeah, I did have to turn off Chrome to get it started, and now I'm fine. Oh, and
Oh,
I plugged in a different camera by USB, so.
okay. Yeah, I had the thing where I did that where I was like, oh, I'll use my wife's camera. I swapped and it worked for a while. And then it was like, no, not that camera either now.
Well, that's what happened our second session, because I had this as a backup,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't work. It didn't matter if I plugged it in, restarted.
There's something really weird with Chrome right now. So I've got this other bug that I have to figure out where I don't know if it's from the stuff that encrypts my data as a security thing or what. There are certain forms, web forms, like when I do a search or stuff, when I go to type it in, it changes the letters that I'm typing in. And
no.
that is, so I have to cut and paste. If I paste it in, it'll give me the correct text. But if I'm just typing it on the keyboard, I don't know if that's a Windows error or a bug or something from, because I do have a thing that does encrypt my communications, but it's so weird. And it's like, here's the thing is, it's one of those problems that when you're like, okay, how do I search for that on Google? Where do you even start with search terms on that?
Hey, man. I loaded another language keyboard, and sometimes my fingers will slip, and I drop that one on. But it's not just a couple letters. It's just horrible.
Okay. Were you working like with Cyrillic or Arabic or?
Yeah, well, Russian keyboard. So then it
Okay.
just switches into Russian, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, got to rewrite that. I'm trying to learn it. I don't know it, but I like it.
Yeah, I remember when I was in college, I took Arabic, and they were just getting Arabic word processing programs here in the States, because all of those letters modify depending on how they're connected to the previous letters, and there's all of this stuff about the diacriticals and things. It's just fascinating.
Wow.
But I'm sure the software is like nothing today, but back in the 80s,
Oh, it was impossible.
Oh yeah. All right, Puckett, are you back?
I see his text. He said he was, but
Okay. Oh, sorry. The chat text popped up for a second. I should just leave that open. Okay. So let's take the scene here. Bob, you've got this guy. This guy is a leader. He's got that kind of close cropped military hair. You can see he's got some spaces that you recognize as people who've been on the battlefield and have done that subdermal healing spray. It works, but the skin never looks the same. And he's got patches that you can tell he took shrapnel at some point along the way. And he's talking to you, and he says, did you go look at any of them? Was it RPM? Was it Oyamato?
Oh, and so now I got to spin into what I just know about these different corporations and their politics. So I'll pick the one that's opposite of Dentaku, just to be like, oh, it was them,
RPM definitely is the one that has most animosity.
There you go. Oh, it was RPM guys. I could tell, like, they tried to disguise themselves as us, but you know how they have that design. Yeah, you know that one.
Yeah.
They couldn't imitate us well enough. Crappy product to start off with, and just go off into some flame war about them.
He says, okay, you help us get the thing upstairs. We'll be able to get you a berth on the craft going out. And he turns and he sends the other two downstairs. Like two of the security guys he sends downstairs because he says, I need to find out what happened to the agitators for hire that we've got. So you two go down, confirm that situation.
But with our comm still on, I say, that's a good idea to send two people downstairs to check that out.
Let us have you make your fast talk roll.
Oh, baby.
This is mostly to kind of maintain your cover as you head up, that you don't give away the game at all here.
Now, with the intel, if I burn some more intel, I forget, does that just give him a +1, or does it give him +1 for the roll or +1 for the intel and then an additional +1 because of filthy assistance?
No, it just gives him the intel, you can spend it, declaring that you've got information on RPM or codes or things like that. He gets a +1 on his roll. Help and interfere is
Okay, gotcha.
Separate thing.
So
you want to spend that?
So he could burn the intel and he could get a +1. So either way, you'd get the +1.
Yeah.
Burn the intel, Bob.
Okay, yeah. So I'll burn intel.
What is it that helps put this guy at ease?
Okay, let's see. What does I know about him, or just about
the situation? What do you demonstrate knowledge wise, or anything that makes him go, oh, this is a person I should trust?
Oh yeah. So I reference some kind of infiltration that happened. So because I know a lot of things, there was a group that I helped hide who had hit Dantaku about 3 months ago, and it was a really big thing. So I talk about that because it wasn't in the news. I'll be like, God, this really reminds me of that time in Guantanamo. I don't know, when Dantaku got infiltrated by that group from RPM. And remember, they did about the same thing. This really matches that profile.
Oh yeah,
because people wouldn't know.
My cousin Hurtado, he was on site.
Oh, that was vicious. We lost a lot of good people that day, but we've improved.
Let me go ahead and have you roll with style, with a +1 on top of that. He's also face to face with you.
Score. All right, so 13. Oh, +1, 14.
14. So yeah, this guy's he's like, yeah, my cousin Hurtado didn't come back from there, and he's like, yeah, I understand. Let's get you upstairs. We're gonna get you to safety. I promise you,
nice. We're
gonna get you out of this alive.
Thank you. Yeah.
And the doctor guy, who might have been the sort of the suspicious one, is still concentrating on his patient. He doesn't even pay any attention to this. And the four of you are heading over to the elevator to head up. Meanwhile, are you still continuing to rip info, Jace?
I think at this point, having heard everything that I've heard on the comms, not really having any way to get an answer from Bob, I think my plan is to grab as much as I can, go down and try to help Molly and get Red Hawk out, because there's already gonna be 4 people in this chopper. And we know we've got Squirrel in there as the pilot. We've got Bob in there as a passenger. We've got Swan going in as another passenger. So who's the 4th person going to be? Because it's probably not going to be the security dude. It's probably going to be the doc. So the safest thing for me to do is grab as much info as I can, get downstairs, grab Red Hawk, get in the car, and take off with Molly.
So my question is, you've already grabbed a bunch. Are you stopping now to go help, or do you want to get that last little bit? I mean, you're only at 3 ticks on your clock.
You know what? I'm going to grab more because I want to bury Dantaku.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and have you roll. Roll with edge or roll with mind, I'm going to say.
Ooh, my bad. That's a 4.
That is a 4. I think that is the moment. You've been tearing into this terminal, right?
Yeah.
And
probably not paying attention.
Not paying attention, and you also are not a hacker.
Yeah.
And you've been doing brute force rips, and I think that is the point at which, we cut to an Otaku hacker who's watching the sitch. He realizes this is an exposed terminal, and he hits the detonate on that, and he blows that terminal with a full huge electrical shock that will run down it. And you're going to take 2 harm.
All right.
And I'm going to have you roll that harm move.
All right. So we're starting with 2, and let's see how bad gets. That's only 6.
That is a 6. Here's the thing. You just take the 2 harm and you don't suffer any additional consequences, like losing a limb.
Yeah.
We see you probably thrown across the room, knocks the air out of you, and there's that green fire and that smell of burning and electricity as the terminal goes down, and you know they've shut down the pipe to this building. Let me cut then to Molly, and then I'm going to cut to Squirrel. Molly, you've gotten word that there are 2 armed security guards coming down to secure the first floor. What do you want to do?
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to bypass them and head up towards the roof. Actually, so what I heard earlier was two armed security guards are coming down. Our Mark is going up towards the roof.
The Mark, 2 guards, a scientist, and Bob are going to the roof.
So okay. So they're going to need some help getting rid of some of those people, or they'll have to talk their way out. So the belief is that the Mark and the scientist are probably going to be put on the plane, and it feels pretty good that those guys know what they're doing. So I think that I'm going to bypass the 2 guards. I'm going to draw them off. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to draw off the 2 guards and make some noise. So I think what you do is you see Molly taking she's got her 2 pistols, and she takes the little slide silencers off of them, so they make a lot of noise, and she starts shooting the place up.
So you're applying some violence and trying to draw them off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you. I think we're going to have you roll mix it up for that, because that's your objective is drawing them off.
Okay. I rolled a 5 plus my meat is 2, so that's a 7.
Okay. So you take a couple of shots, make some noise. They're trained. They're fast on their feet. They know the building. We probably see that thing of you moving, popping up, firing. They're firing back. What do you want as your 2 choices off mix it up?
So let's make too much noise and advance the relevant mission clock.
Okay.
And let's also take an ally takes harm.
What? So
is there an ally nearby?
There's no ally nearby.
Because Jace didn't come down.
Yeah.
So I will take harm.
Okay. So you've got 2 body armor, so you're only going to take 1 harm.
Yeah.
But you're still going to have to roll the harm move.
Okay. So let's see. So I rolled a 6 plus 1 is 7.
7. So let me see what the best. I think that you draw these 2 off, and you get them out. Like draw them out, and you pop out kind of the front, and you realize that you kind of sent them on a wild goose chase. But at the corner of your eye, you will see there's another security guard. Like there was clearly a patrol guy who's been moving around the outside of the perimeter, and he has the drop on you.
Okay.
We'll come back to that in just 1 second. Squirrel.
Yes.
Elevator doors open here. Like there's probably a lift up thing up to the roof. Those doors open. You will see a a couple of armored security guards. You see Bob. You see the person you want to protect strapped to a gurney and a guy pushing that gurney. What do you want to do? Just playing it cool? Or do you want to open up?
Oh, I wanted to be the guy pushing the gurney. If it could be one person.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So it's the two security guards, the doctor, and Bob pushing the gurney.
What's the power of this vehicle?
Let me see here. I think it is vehicles. Just so I get within the right range here.
It's probably either 1 or 2.
Yeah, if it's 1 or 2, then it's 2.
Okay.
There are mounted guns on it. You've got some power to it. What do you want to do?
Yeah, so I come over the comms and I just say 3 down, 2, 1. And then I open fire.
Let's have you roll mix it up with synth plus power of this thing.
Yeah. All right. Where's the thing? All right. You know what? Those red dice, they're not working for me. So I'm going to get some fresh dice. We're going to get some. Let's get pink.
Okay.
Nice little. All right. 2.
Look at you with an 11.
Look at that.
Holy.
My synth is 1, and then the power was 2. So plus 3 on top of that.
2 security guys and this doctor. Bob, you throw the gurney over carefully, kind of land. What do we see on screen with this? Describe that to me, Squirrel.
All right. So this it's one of those the thing like moves really quick, like makes that sort of like the servo sounds. And I just say down, and we see that slow-mo of Bob trying to like get down as quick as possible, and this thing just goes like sweeps across, just and there's like the bot, like it shows it from below, right? So there's like the splash of red on the wall, and then because we're watching Bob,
right,
and then these bodies like the like from chest height down just go clunk, and then like the rest of it falls in another area.
The bodies hit the floor, and it is a charnel house smell as they go down, and you've got Swan there. He is out, but he is completely safe. No consequences, no harm to him. Let's cut to Jace. Jace, you will see, as you said, you were coming down here to back up Molly.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of had to follow the sounds of the fighting and guns, and you pop out and you will see Molly and this guy with essentially a gun like 2 feet away. Molly's bad off. Like she's bleeding. She's still got both of her guns in her hands, but this guy has his pistol up and has the drop on her. What do you do?
Live and on air.
Let us have you go and roll with edge.
And how much intel do we have left?
1.
All right. Because of my research into Dentaku, I think I know a thing or two about their security protocols and how they're supposed to be handling things, and that is clearly not what has happened here. So I'd like to use that intel.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
Is your intention to have Molly avoid harm, or do you have avoid harm?
I want to put this guy on camera so Molly can avoid being shot.
Okay. Then let us go ahead and have you roll.
I'm going to clear out some of these dice real quick.
Please.
Because
those delicious red ones, of course. Oh, no, you cleared them all.
Yeah, I'm clearing everything. All right.
Burn it to the ground.
So but I will set the color back to pink.
Okay, fair enough.
See what we get. So that is 4 plus 1. That gets me to 7.
So I tell you what, I think you absolutely get this guy on camera. You've got that. And I think he spins and he puts a shot in you because suddenly you've popped up.
Yeah.
And do you have any armor?
I do not.
You're going to take 3 harm.
Do I have to roll the harm move?
Yes.
Well, this is not going to be good. And of course, I roll a 10.
So you choose one from the 10 plus list.
I think I'm out of action.
Yeah.
I think I'm in shock at this point because I am like one tick from death.
That big, massive pistol, as he lets a couple of shots off, they hit you mid body, and we see you sort of slow-mo drop. The camera gyroscopically keeps on this guy, so it never lets him get off the stream, even as he does this procedure. If he survives this, he's going to be destroyed reputation. But I wonder if he's going to survive this. Molly, this guy's got the drop on you. Then you see Jace. You see those lights come on, and this guy spins, puts his back to you, and unloads in Jace's chest. What do you do?
So I need to take this guy out. So I'm going to mix it up.
Okay.
And let's see. So I rolled an 8 plus 2 is 10.
Tell me what that looks like. You've got these twin pistols. This guy's got his back to you.
So I think what we see on screen is literally Jace's camera, and we see the gyroscope is continuing to picture this guy on camera, and then we see this fountain of blood come out of his face, and he kind of drops, and the camera follows this as the body drops, and then you see legs come up, into the frame. You can't see anything above the legs because it's focusing on the guard's body.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Molly picks up Jace and grabs the camera and Red Hawk and heads back towards the car.
We see you two running for the ground vehicle, off camera, pulling him along. We cut upstairs to you popping the top of the helicopter. Bob, you can get him out of this thing, and you can load up on this vehicle if you want.
Doing it.
Okay.
Drag Swan up there.
And we will cut to the two of you flying off. Mission accomplished, which means you got Swan, which is worth an experience point for everybody, and you also got him off site, which is worth another experience point for everybody. And do you want to take your friend to the Ripper Dock then, Molly?
I think we both need to go back to the HQ that we set up with, what was the doc's name? Nasserat.
Let me check what the healing is. Harm 177, 179. Sorry, you guys got messed up a bit. Actually, I'm not sorry, but anyway. Let me see here.
When you're done looking that up, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it all focused on Molly. So instead of being evenly distributed.
That makes
That's
sense.
okay. That's my job.
I believe that, let's see, where is that? Because it's actually not there. So this is definitely going to require some hospitalization. This person, your Ripper Doc, will be able to heal you, essentially keep you from dying. And then I believe that, what is it? It's credding. Cred for vehicles. I believe that it is then 1 cred for each level of harm that you have that's past 2100. So Molly, it's just 1 cred for yours, and it's 2 cred for yours, Jace.
But we wipe all harm?
You will wipe out all harm over time, because the rest of it will clear over time.
Okay,
You
so
had a
I'm down
question?
2 creds.
I had a question before I went to get the job.
Yeah. So with compassion, my directive compassionate says when you put your compassion for the powerless ahead of the mission, mark experience.
That seems
That
like
was-
Mark XP.
Yeah, I was going to say. And then this harmed Duntaku and its interests, correct?
Yeah, and these directives we check at the end of session. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I got mixed up on that. So I lose
That's
2
okay.
credits and all the harm is gone.
Yep. So when you guys go to get paid, does the whole team go? Is it a couple people? What do
I
we?
definitely go.
Okay.
But I do well with Jason Squirrel. Sorry, I have links
Yeah.
to them. So
Okay.
I guess
They are still injured if by the time you need to go and get paid.
Squirrel and I'll head out then.
Okay.
I was going to say there's no way for me to like limp in, still bleeding and bandaged up, to basically say, "Hey, Swan, we."
Oh yeah, you can absolutely be on site. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then let's do it. I want to do the guilt trip thing. Like
Okay.
I literally took bullets for you.
So you will get on site again. You'll fly to this high-class hotel that you met DJ Snow at before. You arrive. Her security person is there. She's got some people, EMTs and stuff, because radioed ahead. And she will, watch as all of this goes on. She sees, Molly and Jace have arrived. They're both bloodied. She seems pretty hardened. She seems like she's seen blood and viscera in the past. But now the thing is, one of you, either Bob or Squirrel, or in the best things, needs to roll with leg work. You have 2 segments left on the leg work clock. So let's have you roll.
Is legwork a move?
It is called getting paid. This is the getting paid.
Okay.
To see if everything goes terribly wrong here.
So I have edge of 1. What are you, Squirrel? Sorry.
Oh, no. You don't roll with edge.
Oh.
You just
What is
roll
it?
with however many segments you have left on the legwork clock, which is 2 right now.
Oh, okay. 2 6-siders?
No. You roll 2d6 plus 2.
Gotcha.
Roll. Bob's the talkie.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got this.
You go over to talk to her.
Oh. Trying to submit these. Here we go. I got some. Oh, man. I got to clear it. I don't know why it came up twice.
Okay.
I'm going to try this again. All right. 2. What am I doing? I've done something weird. Here, I'm just going to take this right side die and roll those. Reroll selected.
Okay.
Okay. So we got not so great. 6 plus 2, so 8.
Okay. So look at the getting paid move, which is on the moves 2 tab.
Can we do an assist here?
Right.
No, not for the legwork phase.
Okay.
So you have a choice. You can pick one from the list below. It's not a setup or an ambush. You get paid in full. The employer is identifiable isn't a choice in this. You don't have to worry about that. The meeting doesn't attract the attention of outside parties. You learn something from the mission. Everyone marks an extra experience.
I mean, it's all about getting paid. So mine says gets paid, or sorry, the job pays well. Is that the same
That's
thing?
the get the job. It's the one below that. The getting paid legwork phase.
But yeah, I want to get paid in full or more. Oh, I see it here.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
paid
okay
in
with
full.
the setup or ambush.
I only care about money.
Okay.
Sorry. That's my yeah. Bob is like, nothing comes between me and making more money. So if few more people, if we got to get hurt, we got to get hurt, but we're going to get paid.
All right. Well, good thing we brought the invalid.
Sorry, Jace.
So,
man,
you will see Swan will look over. She checks Snow. She, pulls out the credit stick and hands that over to you. You guys all get your creds. You're like, oh yeah. And that's the point at which you will see in the room with you is, of course, Dario Santim, the security guy, and then the person that you also met when you first got here. What is he?
Society Jagger.
Society Jagger. And they and the other security team all draw on you guys. And, you see that Snow looks shocked as they draw down, and Jagger says, "It's nothing personal, but I didn't think you guys would do this, and we got to clean up loose ends."
Can I roll to go live?
Yeah, absolutely.
just out of character. I don't need my death on TV.
You know what? I have an advance here. Give me 2 seconds to see if there's anything that I can come up with that might be a slightly better option. You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and roll for it. Let's see what we get.
So you were still at 2,200.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and have you roll with Edge.
Okay. I seem to be having the same problem that Trey was having, where it's not actually rolling.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I was hitting the wrong button. I'm used to reroll selected. Let's see what we got.
Submit.
That's an 11. 13.
So you pop out those cameras, and they have to move. I mean, you get them on camera, and that will put you in a position where you are out of harm's way. What do you do Molly. Oh, Bob?
Is Molly there?
Yeah, we're
well,
all here.
Yeah, we established
Okay.
everyone was there. Even
bad.
though I'm gonna may kill them, but there we go. Molly, what do you do?
Yeah. So I think that, well, come back to me if
Okay.
you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. Squirrel, guns are out. They're in a hotel room, kind of spread out. It's big. This is crazy. And Jace has put this on camera and gotten himself out of harm's way, but you are still out there. What do you do?
So my hands go up, right? Because someone just pulled guns on me. And I'm immediately going to see if I am close enough to link up with the chopper, with the with the plane that we came on. Because if I can get that thing like remoted down to the window, that might be some leverage. And I'm just gonna be like, whoa. I'm not, and I'm gonna look right at Bob and go, buying it. Look, this is the last time. Basically like, buy time. Just give me some time.
Let's have you act under pressure.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna use these pink dice. 2, 4, 6, and then it's cool. I have +2 cool. So that is an 8.
8. So I think you will get that chopper down and in position.
Ooh, can I help? Sorry, like literally the help. I apologize. So I have this smooth thing. When you help or interfere with someone, roll style instead of links. And my style is just a little better.
That would pump it up to a 9, though.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. If that
And
doesn't
multiple
help.
people helping doesn't advance it more, correct?
No, I believe that it's just one person can help on a roll.
I mean, fictionally, you could be helping, but
Ineffectual.
Yeah. I think what it is you get that chopper down into position, but it's like your team is sort of also in the arc right now. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Like, and they'll see it. They see the lights of it come down, to the window and hit on this. They've got the camera on them. That gun is there. Bob, you have the opportunity to get to ground now because Squirrel brought the big guns to bear.
All right, I'll do that because originally I was just gonna pull out my gun and we were gonna just do a face off, but I will drop down just like a John Woo movie and pull the gun out, and just take aim. It's like I've seen this maneuver.
Do you want to try and mix it up? Do you want to push him back, or do you want to just stay cool?
Well, could I protect DJ Snow? Is there any way I could?
Oh, I like that. Yeah. So yeah, you get in the
maybe
way.
I run and tackle her and got the gun up.
Yeah, let's have you roll cool.
All right, there we go. Cool as a cucumber. All right. So what is the cool based on? I'm sorry.
So it's act under pressure. You're going to roll your cool stat.
Okay. God darn it. I don't know why I have doubles. All right. I'm just going to roll the pink dice.
Okay.
There we go. All right. So 7. And just seeing what advantage I get from what pluses I get for cool. Oh, it is cool. I'm sorry. It's a 0, so it's 7.
I think that you go and you tackle. Like it's not so like you tackle DJ Snow to the ground to protect her. But somewhere we're seeing social media like, oh my God, that guy attacked DJ Snow. Oh my God, all in social media, they're all talking. Suddenly they've got, pictures of you and they're like, how dare he manhandle her and so on. And that's popping up all over.
Your damn cameras, Jace.
Yeah. That is going crazy. Molly.
Yeah. So I'm going to mix it up.
Okay. Have you reset your mono whip?
I have not.
Okay. So you just letting loose with the guns?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to just shoot with the pistols.
Okay. You're still a small gang, regardless.
Okay. So I got a 10 on the dice. So that's a 12.
Okay. So who is it that is left standing after your thing? Is it going to be Jagger or is it going to be the security chief guy, whose name escapes me right this second, and why don't I have it written down? Santine.
Santine.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Santine.
Okay.
And the way that this looks is Molly lays down kind of strafing fire. And so they kind of duck out of the way to avoid the gunfire and step into the line of fire of the helicopter.
Absolutely. And yeah, we see, of course, this is all in slow-mo. We see bullets hitting marble. We see sprays of dirt. We described it as a garden. We do see these doves fly by. They were in a cage there. What were they doing there? We don't know, but everybody's dropping to the ground. We see the security guys falling backwards. Jagger takes a shot. Santine is left, kind of pushed in. Squirrel, he walks right into the line of fire. Do you let him have it?
Sorry, you said Squirrel walks right into the line of fire.
No, Santine, Squirrel. Santine walks right into the line of fire. He's the one that's left. Do you light him up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I totally finished that, dude. And then I turn straight to the camera and I say, "What up, Squirrel Nuts? That's why you always pay your team."
And there's just that sound of the guns winding down, and there's blood everywhere, and DJ Snow is getting up off the ground, and she says, "Well then, maybe you'll escort me to another secure location." And
a slight fee, but yes.
Yeah. And she will go to move all of you essentially out, and that is the end of that job. And I think we will go to end of session, and we look at the end of session XP stuff. If you hit any of your directives, you get an XP for hitting your directives.
But you only get each directive once, correct?
I believe so.
Because one of mine is you suffer one when you suffer one or more harm, mark XP.
Let me check.
And I was like,
let's see. That is a really good question.
And I'll have a question later too.
Talking directly to Cam, get my illustrious.
Every time you make a move in service to one of your directives, mark XP.
Okay.
So every time you do it, it triggers. And the other XP that you're going to get is you got paid. So that's another XP. So everybody gets one more.
Did I draw any unwanted attention to the mission by
That is a definite yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna mark XP for that.
Okay. You also harmed RPM Alliance since you hurt that trippage company.
Now, with him drawing attention to the mission, how many times did he do that? If he get,
I think just
one.
This one is
like the hotel. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to keep doing that throughout the thing.
So
I didn't live stream my murder.
Yeah.
So what about you put your responsibility to the employer ahead of the mission, mark XP? I don't think we did that with DJ Snow just now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. I agree.
But you definitely got hit 2 or 3 times there. So the XP's for each of those.
Yeah, I got that.
And of course, you got a couple of deceptions there, Bob.
Nice.
And 1 financial.
That's what I was hoping. So I'll get a 3 for that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then how many times did we harm Dentaku?
I think actually we'll count that as 2 hits on that. One on the op itself, and one hitting their operatives here at the end.
Okay.
Nice. So I wanted to ask, one of the things that I don't use or didn't use, but I'm wondering how I can bring it in, is I know people. It's like supposed to be a way a fixer can get 2 contacts a mission.
Oh yeah.
But there's some stuff that also talks about crews. So I didn't do it this time, but my intention is to try and get 2 contacts every time.
Oh yeah. And a crew is like you can, as one of your advances, essentially get a gang of people that work for you. The fixer can do that. The playbook, the pusher, is sort of built on that, on just having a gang that you have do your bidding, which was very weird in the last Sprawl game I ran. But I won't even. Somebody was very influenced by Judge Dredd and the umpties from that as his multimedia followers. But yeah, we'll have one more mission next time. We'll have a done in one mission. We'll kind of do a little bit of setup to that. We have a little bit of time. Do you guys mind doing a quick stars and wishes here? Thoughts on session or system or things like that? Things that you like, things you want to point to, and then wishes, like for next time, things you definitely want to see. Like, for example, making sure that we can get your hustling moving, contacts on the table right away for you there, Bob. Puck, it's okay if I start with you?
Sure thing.
Okay.
I really liked, and as weird as it sounded, as much as I appreciated it when things went smoothly, I really liked when everything fell to shit. That was easily one of my favorite parts. Like, wait, I just walked downstairs and I took enough rounds in the chest to damn near kill me. Am I going to make it out of this thing alive? Let's find out. So I really appreciated that. I really liked just the kind of devil may care swagger bravado of, what's up, squirrel nuts? That's why you pay your team. And just like the silliness that went along with that, like, okay, I'm going to have Red Hawk go down and like help and everything like that. Just like that kind of act first, almost think never approach. Just kind of roll into it. I really like Molly, like trying to play it subtle, trying to go low pro, and that so far in the campaign not really working out ever. And then just absolute mayhem. And the next thing you know, you see body parts just kind of sliding off each other like the old samurai flicks. And I really like the kind of smoothness of Bob and just like kind of, hey, we got this. Everything's cool. Nothing is fucked here. You know, just that kind of instant, it's, let me make you an offer type thing. Still not sure I have a feel for the system. But okay. I'm getting a better feel for it. There's, compared to say a regular PbtA game, it feels like there's more moves. Like, I mean, I came into PbtA with Monster Hearts, so like having all these different pages of moves and all these different items and everything like that, it feels quite a bit crunchier than Monster Hearts. So I'm getting a feel for that.
Yeah. There's a lot of text to each of the moves too. A lot of those moves that have a lot of choices to them.
Wishes for next time.
Okay.
Jace just wants to finish up that water story and somehow blame it all on Dantaku.
Okay. Well, he certainly got enough stuff for it. Yeah.
And maybe have a sit down with Swan and DJ Snow to interview them and point out that there was an assassination crew sent to kill them, and it wasn't actually Bob trying to harm Snow, and kind of get him clear on that. I mean, it'll give him a little bit more profile, but at the same time, it'll kind of clear it a bit. So it's like, yeah, this was actually like an operative who was hired because there was a suspicion of a conspiracy going on type thing.
Okay.
So kind of cast him in a different light so her fans don't try to Burger King him or whatever.
I don't know what that means, but I love it. Molly, Steven Starr's wishes?
So I guess one of the things I I like most about the system that I've seen so far is the dichotomy between the downtime and the mission action time. Basically, I like the personable, we're going to go find people and talk to them, mixed with high action, intense, oh crap, we're all going to die. The only issue that I have with that is that it takes so long. I mean, getting a mission and going through the legwork for that is like a session, and then doing the mission itself is like a session. And I'd really like to see that in, kind of combined a little bit more. So I guess that would be my wish. I guess my stars are, I really like how everyone's drawing in, cyberpunk tropes like the drones and, constantly, I totally get a Max Headroom vibe from the reporter where, it's I'm going live and these people are all going to see all the crap that's going on. I really like all of that. So I'm really digging that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kurt?
Yeah, so far I really dig the system. It can have I've noticed with real procedural games that they can get a little I don't know, they can feel too structured. But this doesn't feel too structured. Maybe that's just the way you're running it, or maybe it's the game, but so far I've preferred this like shape of the game to like a Blades in the Dark version of this type of thing, because it's this I see these as similar like goals. Yeah. And I love everyone's characters. I love that you keep going live and like showing all our crimes on the internet. And my character's dumb and doesn't realize that that's a bad thing, and so he's playing into it. But that's really fun. And I want to get more time to talk with Bob and fight with Molly. And I want to see all my like talking about myself and looking for fame like be a problem. Like I definitely want to either, I don't know, have somebody recognize me or have somebody come back and be like, look, we got you on tape, man.
That's how it costs. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
The one thing I would steal from Blades for this is maybe like an engagement role, like to a way to get us like once we do the legwork to get us in medias res, and figure out some way to do that connected to the legwork. But yeah, I kind of like the looseness of this versus that. Awesome. Trey, I'm going to give you last word.
Yeah. So definite wishes is get my couple contacts a session, but links. I'd like to see more of the links played out between characters, because that seemed like a great thing that we did in beginning on creation.
And actually, that's the thing. That's another end of session thing. Now that you reminded me, thank you. Let's actually do this real quick. Bob, who did you learn something about this time?
Jace, I'll say, because I kept expecting him to come around the corner and he never did.
Okay. Yeah, so you can add a link with Jace. Squirrel, who did you learn about?
I think I learned that you don't get in the middle of Molly's business. Like you just let Molly handle it and just stay back.
Okay. Then you can add a link with Molly. Molly, who'd you learn about?
I think I learned about Jace because whenever the chips were down, Jace was there for me.
And Jace? You're muted.
I was having trouble switching between windows. I've got this new mouse and it's just I think I learned something about Molly.
Okay.
Because when I woke up, I wasn't where I got shot, and Molly was the only person there. So I know whatever happens in the future, if Molly's there and she's able to get vertical, I'm getting out of there even if I'm not alive. I mean, so yeah, I learned something about Molly this time around.
Absolutely. Trey, thank you for reminding me about the links. Anything else you want to say? I kind of stopped you in midstream there.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. Thank you. Kudos to Molly. I forgot she was all beat up, dragging people out. What was it? Oh, so stars. So I'm really haven't done a ton of my homework with the game, but I'm starting to pick it up with the multiple sessions. Everybody's taking their time. Great rule or not rules. Great online tools. Thank you, Lowell. That really helps with the moves. And yeah, I'm enjoying the system so far. So I don't have anything more specific than that, but yeah, enjoying it.
If you and if you make a copy, if you run this online, just make a copy and you can just use that. We've got all these nice sheets, so feel free to do that. I will say, having run this, I suspect I'm going to. I hadn't picked up like the expansion books in the hard covers or the hard copies. I've got some of the PDFs, but I think I may break down and order the POD versions of them, including like the shadow runny things they've got out. So
I agree. I'm having trouble with the PDF trying to read it.
yeah.
And it's not technical. It's just doesn't grok as well for some reason.
Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely playing this and having so much fun here with it is made me go, okay, I got to buy the rest of this stuff. So,
well, the books come in two different versions, like the midnight version and the daytime version.
Yes, I definitely bought the noon version because I can't read white on black text in print form.
And I bought the midnight version. Yeah.
It kills me. I'm way too old for that stuff. I'm too old for this shit. All right. Well, thank you. We'll do a done-in-one mission next time, and we will wrap this up. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream.